Hey guys and girls, how's it going? So I hope you guys are having a great week. So it is E3 next week from the 16th to the 18th of June officially, but as we all know, it is the pre-show where most of the news is going to be happening, and that's on the 15th of June. I can't wait. I'm super excited. I'm kind of bummed out because I am working, which is going to make it a little difficult for me to be able to watch these streams live, but I will certainly be catching the conferences later, and definitely all next week I'm going to be giving you guys my reactions to all the big news from E3. But today I wanted to just really sort of give my predictions. So what do I think is going to happen at E3? What do I think the big three companies are going to bring to the table? That obviously is Sony, Microsoft and Nintendo. So this is just a quick predictions video, so we'll see how close I am to this. So let's start with Microsoft. Well, last year Microsoft had a pretty good year. They had a very good conference, and last year Microsoft really changed their whole focus of the conference, and that's very much down to the leadership of Phil Spencer, who really pulled them out of the gutter last year by focusing on games and more games. And I think E3 this year for Microsoft is going to be some of the same thing. There is sort of rumors that there's going to be showing a little bit more hardware. They're going to be showing a terabyte version of the Xbox One. There's also rumors of a new controller that's going to actually be able to use any kind of headphone with it, a 3.5 sort of jack headphone with it. But however, I don't think that's going to be the focus for Microsoft this year. I think their major focus is going to be games, and particularly it's going to be first party games. So I think this year Microsoft are going to be really showcasing everything that they've got coming out in 2015, and the big hitters, I think they're going to start with a big hitter. I think it's going to be something like Forza Sports 6, or it's going to be possibly Halo 5 Guardians, though I think they're going to leave Halo 5 Guardians for last, because that seems to be their sort of biggest IP for their console. So I honestly think they're going to finish with Halo Guardians 5. I think they might actually start the conference with Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, because that for many Xbox fans is a timed exclusive, obviously on the Xbox and the Xbox One. So I think Microsoft are going to be trying to push that, because the Tomb Raider game, when it came out about 2 or 3 years ago, it caused a massive splash. The game was way better than anybody had expected, and it really revamped a lot of life into the Tomb Raider franchise. Now, given the fact that Uncharted 4 has been delayed to 2016 on the PlayStation 4, really, this is an opportunity for Microsoft to gain a lot of positive publicity, to have that sort of genre of game out when it's not being, when there's no major competition. So pretty much I think Tomb Raider is going to be coming out in the fall of 2015, probably around October time, maybe November. And yeah, I think it's going to be their main trump, their way of trying to convince people that didn't go ahead and invest in buying an Xbox One initially, that have sort of moved over to Sony to try to maybe possibly purchase a console so they can get access to the Rise of Tomb Raider on day one. Now, personally, I don't think Microsoft are going to reveal how long this timed exclusive is going to go ahead. I think they're going to want to try and keep that as vague as possible, because once people know how long that wait is, if you're like me, I'm willing to wait. I refuse on principle. I am not buying an Xbox One simply to play Rise of the Tomb Raider. I'm just not doing it. I love the game, don't get me wrong. I friggin' loved Tomb Raider, and I cannot wait to play the sequel, but I refuse on principle to cave to this bullshit exclusivity that is going on in the market at the moment. So I certainly will not be buying an Xbox One for that reason. I will say, however, though, Microsoft this year in 2015 have a pretty good lineup. They did pretty well last year as well in the fall of 2014, whereas PlayStation last year kind of really lost the edge a little bit. Of course, they're going far ahead in terms of sales, and they still are far ahead of Microsoft in terms of sales of hardware and games. But I think last year Sony didn't really bring its A game when it came to its first party exclusive, and it did rely a lot on third party games and third party exclusive DLC and exclusive content. Like, for example, Destiny. Last year, Sony, made a big push on Destiny, and that for them was a very, very smart move, because a lot of people bought that game. A lot of people are still buying that game, still playing that game. So yeah, it was a good move by Sony. So I think this year Microsoft are going to really want to push all the first party games that they do have available. They're also going to want to be pushing, third-party titles as well, understandably. Now, there are rumors this year that Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty game, might not be with Microsoft. Now, that is massive, because at every press conference, for a long time now, Call of Duty has really been, its first big major opening game to showcase that. So the fact is, they showed a recent sort of gameplay footage, and the developers of the new Call of Duty game were playing on the PlayStation 4. So that really does beg the question, has Sony actually got in there? Have they done some kind of deal, with the Call of Duty developers to get sort of dibs onto that and dibs onto sort of exclusive content? Who knows? That remains to be seen. Now, I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty. I think they come out too often. Yeah, I've enjoyed playing, the new Call of Duty game, but it comes out too regularly for me. But in terms of business, I mean, it's a massive moneymaker. A lot of people buy it. So if you've got that in your conference, that's a pretty sweet little bit of a advantage there against the opposition. So I think if Microsoft haven't got Call of Duty this year, it might possibly hurt them. However, Microsoft could maybe be showcasing things like the new Star Wars Battlefront, to fight against that as well. That could be something that they do push, definitely. Who knows? Maybe they'll also mention the new Titanfall 2, because it has been confirmed there is going to be a sequel there. But I guess that remains to be seen. So I think this year Microsoft are going to be all about, again, the games. I don't see them talking about Kinect. I honestly think they're going to really downplay Kinect, as if it doesn't exist. I don't see them talking about things like, all-in-one entertainment system, all that kind of TV deals and all that bullshit. I don't see them doing that. I see them focusing on games again this year. And if they choose to do that, it is a smart move on Microsoft's part. All right, so Sony. What do I think Sony are going to do this year? Well, I think Sony this year really need to up their game. For me, they didn't up it so much last year. They had an okay conference, but they didn't really capitalize on the advantages that they had, through the first year. So for me, I think there needs to be less of a focus on third-party exclusives, which they have been focusing on a lot, and they probably will continue to do so. But I think it needs to have more focus on first-party exclusives for Sony, and I'm hoping they're going to be showing a little bit more of Uncharted 4. Obviously, a lot of people with the PS4 are disappointed that Uncharted 4 has been delayed to 2016, but it'd still be pretty sweet to see some gameplay there and different levels and that sort of thing. So that would be kind of cool, just to keep reminding people that it's on its way, that it's coming. I also think they might possibly reveal a new God of War game. And they're obviously going to be talking about some kind of HD remastered version. They're inevitably going to be talking about the HD remastered Uncharted series, the first 3 games, because that's been sort of that's been revealed by Sony that is happening. So I think they're going to probably focus on a lot more first party games. But I think a lot of the time Sony right now have been focusing a lot on indie games. They're going to be obviously talking about No Man's Sky. That's a pretty big exclusive that they have. So they're probably going to be talking about that quite a bit more. And they're going to be talking about things, again, more third party games. I'm hoping this year that they give us a little bit more information about how we can expect, when we can expect PlayStation Now to be coming to the PlayStation. particularly for Europe. There's been a lot of focus just on America, so I'd like to see more focus on Europe. There are rumors that they might talk about a new hardware upgrade, so possibly they might talk about new slimline PS4 or, you know, a terabyte version of the PS4. I definitely think they're going to be showcasing Project Morpheus for this year, absolutely, because, you know, I think that what they really need to do now is they need to really show some actual games that are being developed for Project Morpheus to get people excited, to get people to see what this is all about, how it works, how virtual reality is going to change the face of gaming. So I think they're definitely going to be focusing on Project Morpheus a lot more. I don't see them mentioning the PS Vita at all. I think they've pretty much given up on the PS Vita, to be honest. I don't see them mentioning that at all. So I think probably PlayStation this year are going to be focusing on Project Morpheus. Of course, they're going to be looking at Uncharted 4, and they're going to be looking at more third-party games, I think, which personally I feel is a mistake for them. I think Sony really need to show us a lot more in terms of first-party games, what their studios are doing, and some of the new, brand new original IPs that are coming out. I'm not as interested in all these HD remastered versions of things. You know, they're cool and all, but I'm kind of past that. I want to see new games, and that's what a lot of people, you know, that own a PlayStation 4 want to see. So finally, Nintendo. We have obviously got to mention Nintendo. Now, they had a pretty good E3 last year. The Nintendo Direct was pretty successful. They've had a pretty good year, Nintendo. There's been a lot of very good game releases this year. So Smash Brothers, Mario Kart 8, the new Splatoon. They've had a pretty good year, and they really do need to keep that momentum going. Now, one of the things that's disappointed me a little bit with Nintendo this year at E3 is they have mentioned that the new Zelda game will not be present at E3 simply because it's been delayed to 2016. So I am incredibly disappointed that we're not going to actually get to see any more Zelda. I'm very, very disappointed that we won't get to see more gameplay. I'm desperate to find out more about it, and that is one of the major reasons that I decided to go out and purchase a Wii U. Apart from the new Splatoon game, the new Zelda game is something I'm super intrigued about. I am hoping we'll see more about Sky Fox. I'm very much interested in that. I'd love to see information, perhaps a reveal about a new Metroid game. I think that would be pretty awesome and pretty badass. Hopefully they're going to be revealing things about, you know, the new X. I just hope that Nintendo really do bring it when they're talking about it. Now, there have obviously been a lot of rumors about a new Wii U, you know, the Wii NX, I think it's called, new hardware, but they've pretty much said that that is not going to be at E3. I don't foresee that coming out to at least 2017, if not later. So if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be next year's E3, not this year. So I think Nintendo will continue to showcase games. I think there's going to be a massive, massive section of that Direct that focuses on amiibos. I'm pretty sure there's going to be tons of stuff on the new amiibos that you can get, the next wave of amiibos, because everyone's going absolutely crazy about amiibos at the moment. You can't get hold of them for love nor gold, so it's just impossible to get hold of. So yeah, I really do see them focusing on games, but if there's no Zelda at E3, I mean, I don't know. I think that's a huge mistake on Nintendo's part, and I think that's going to sort of subtract from it. I hope we're not going to be seeing more Mario. I'm not really interested in Mario anymore. I think there's been enough Mario over the past, couple of years. So I'd like to see something new, something different. But I guess we'll see. So those are my predictions for E3 2015. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see what the big three have to offer, as well as Ubisoft, EA, and everybody. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we're going to hear more about a Mass Effect 4. I can't wait for that. That EA conference, I'm just going to be so excited. I really want to see more, but we'll see anyway. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of E3. What are you most excited about with E3? What is it that you'd like to really see at E3? What are your predictions? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, I'll be back next week, guys, all next week with more videos on E3. And yeah, so look forward to that. All right, guys and girls, well, please like this video if you did enjoy it, if you found it interesting. Thanks for checking it out. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Yeah.